Sir Eric Pando. So kami po yung estudyante na we're students for the Valenzuela City School of Mathematics and Science, and as a requirement for our oral communication class, we're going to have a short interview about you as a coordinator. So let's start first, like, about you first. You are Pastor Eric Pando. You're the ALS coordinator here at ALS SSL.
For 5 years.
Oh,
or 6 years.
Oh, 6 years, yeah. Medyo matagal na rin,
Opo.
Pastor. Pastor rin po kayo, no?
Yeah, at the same time.
Oh.
Teacher and at the same time a pastor.
At the same time, a pastor.
Yeah.
Okay, sige. So let's start the interview. So first question, what are the challenges in your role as a coordinator that is different with coordinators from other schools? Because, you know, ALS is very different from regular schools. Like, what's the difference between like ALS and regular school, and your role as a coordinator? What makes it different?
So the difference is, first, ALS is, we call it non-formal or non-formal. And another thing is we cater OFY here, or out of school youth. And then another thing is we don't have tuition fees here.
Oh, so even though you're private, no tuition. So who pays the governmental fund?
No. So this is a private ALS, so the government has nothing to do with this.
So,
okay. But the certification is from the government.
So like, what about the funds?
The funds, of course, is church.
So your church. So it's
The electricity, the water
it's
fee is
provided.
provided by the church.
Very nice. And then anything else?
The difference. So far,
In your job ba as a coordinator, like, what are your day-to-day things na ginagawa mo?
first, as a coordinator, of course, I need to coordinate with the learners
Of course.
and with the volunteers. So I need to talk with the volunteers because since this is free, so I really need to look for teachers who will volunteer here. So that's some of my role here, and facilitating everything that the learners. I'll make it a point that they are doing good and their attendance at the same time, follow up, and meeting with their parents. So that's my role.
It's very different, you know, from like the coordinators in our school. Like the coordinators in our school, they like manage the paperwork, and then they only meet the teachers. They don't usually talk that much with the students. So here it's very different.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so
Totally different.
Yeah. Next question.
For the second question, how is the English language used in this institution?
Actually, since we cater OSY, so far we don't focus on English language, but we'll make it a point that in our English class, the teacher or the volunteer teacher will use the English language.
So like the method of teaching is
Yeah.
different also. No?
Yeah.
So like usually like the method of instruction is Spanish or informal. If it's not
Very
English
informal.
class,
It depends upon the teacher. Since your audience is OSY, so when you say OSY is out of school youth, they used to make tambay, and they've been stopped from studying for 5 years, for several years. So they will really have difficulty in adapting the classroom.
So that's
For the last question, how is this institution able to attack the life of your learners?
The good thing about like us, ALS Center, so-called Christian ALS Center, we have a dual approach, the spiritual approach and the academic approach. So according or based on the pastors before, it really affect their lives, particularly in a spiritual aspect. Because that's the thing that we can be proud of. And the good thing about this SSN ALS Learning Center, when we talk about the passing rate, we, for the past few years or consecutive, we have this higher.
Oh, that's very nice.
So that's the good thing about this ALS. That's why we proud to
Not
say
only
that.
academically prepared, but also spiritually.
Yes.
Maganda talaga.
At sa pagpasa, maraming nakakapasa dito. So I recommend, or you can, recruit more OSY, you can go here and enroll.
Maganda talaga. Sige po. Okay.
That's all. Thank you very much.
Yes, God bless you. Yeah.
Thank you, Pastor.
Okay.
For your time. Okay.
So focus on your study. No boyfriend, no girlfriend. Okay. God bless you.
Good afternoon, Dean. He's the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, and he's also the SHS Administrator for the Our Lady of Fatima University.
Yes.
So this afternoon we're going to be interviewing Mr. Luterio in particular about how SHS here is structured and about the use of the English. So,
Yes.
We'll go first. So for the first question, what are
You are?
I am Mr. CJ. I'm CJ. And then, for the first question, what are your challenges in your role as the administrator of the SHS here in Gold FUP that you would say is different from how things are managed in other schools?
Yeah, one is that we have many students, and that will pose us a challenge. We have many students here. We have many grade 11.
How many students? Hundreds?
No, around 40 sections.
Oh, that's a lot. it's a lot.
Anyway, so it's quite a challenge on how to make sure that we implement all the requirements of required for the first semester subjects. Plus the fact that we have to make sure that all the activities, all the activities inside the classroom, the facilities, the equipment are well in place. That's one challenge here.
So, sir, for the second question, how is the English language used in this institution?
First, it will all depend on the curriculum. Everything is in the curriculum. So, for example, every college student has to take at least 9 units of English. Okay, 9 to 12. That means around 4 subjects, 4 courses like English 1, English 2, and then we have English 3 for speech. Okay, we have literature. Okay, there are some programs like EA, HRM. They have technical writing, those things. So when you ask me how much English language, how is it used, it will depend and be dependent on the curriculum. Okay, so more or less every college student will have to earn at least 12 units. Okay, 12 units in his entire program. So if there are 160 units from first to fourth year, 12 units of that is for English, dedicated to English. And that's around, 3 units is 3 hours a week. Okay? 3 hours a week. For 18 weeks, that's 54 hours. So 54 hours of English 1, another 54 of 2, another 54 of English 3, and another 54 of technical literature or technical writing. So it's quite it's around 200 hours, okay, of contact hours. So how is it used? That's how much it is used. Okay. Now with regards to daily communication, of course, as much as possible, we want students here to speak the language. Okay, we want that because we value the English language being the universal language, right? student, person, professional, no, should be able to speak the language. No? He has to be proficient. And I think that's what you should also do, to make sure that you will become good communicators of the language. Okay, so we value the language. Okay, but there's a challenge there, no? Because as much as we value it, there's some resistance, of course. There is some resistance from students. Okay, primarily because before Fatima, they were never used to English before. So there's a difficulty there. Okay, especially vocabulary, especially grammar. So as much as we want them to speak the language, they are hesitant to communicate the way we want them to communicate because of their difficulty. So that's one problematic area. Okay. Although every time we have activities here, for example, the English week. This week is the English week here. So we have activities there. We have declamation. We have etc. Okay. It's one opportunity for them to appreciate and use the language. But that's only for a week, correct? We need to use the language regularly, right? Every day for you to become fluent in the language, right? Okay. So we cannot depend on 1 week. We cannot make them become proficient just by having an English week. Okay. It has to start elementary. It has to start elementary, and then high school, or even college. Okay?
So, third question. How is this institution able to affect the life of your students, specifically for the international students?
International students. We're talking foreign students. We're talking about students from the US, from Nigeria,
Yes.
Kenya,
Study here.
Korea, Turkey. We have so many foreign students.
There's a lot of diversity.
Yes. And that's part of being a university. So being a university means having a diverse student population. Okay? So, and we are able to attract them from various places in the world. They come here. Yesterday I was talking to a Pakistani. No? I asked him, how did you learn about Fatima? Through the internet. Okay, so the internet really has a way of reaching out to people. So they come. Okay. Why do they come? Because it's a better option. No? Fatima is a better option than Pakistan, for example. You see, di ba? Okay. Although he told me he studied also in UK, he could study in UK, but he chose Fatima. Okay, for one reason or another. Maybe many reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just one of the many foreign students. Okay. So going back to your question, how are we affecting their lives? One is we're giving them the opportunity. No? Maybe the opportunity is not there in Pakistan or in UK or in Maldives. No? There's something there, Maldives. And they saw that there's an opportunity here. And we gave them access to that opportunity. In the same way that we give access to poor people, poor Filipinos, in and they're able to study here. I think that's one.
That's very good.
We give them access to a quality university.
Very good contribution.
Okay. And hindi pa tapos.
Sure. Sorry.
And so once they are done with their studies, they get their diplomas, their degrees, they get licenses, and they are able to go back to their countries and practice their profession. Okay? That's how we affect them. Okay?
That we did.